What's up, everyone? I'm Andrew with HNL Movement.
Hey, Yancy Medeiros.
And today we're going to flip the script a little bit and talk a little bit about one of your questions. This is unscripted, so
Yes.
whatever is on your mind, let's dive into that.
My turn. My turn.
Your turn.
I guess one of the biggest things for me is like, in anything I'm lost with, I always go to Google to go search.
Okay.
But if I had to say like what I am in Google searching, is like I'm a white belt. It's like I don't really know. Just if I'm lost with something on a topic, I'm like Google will find the answers for me. And like I get a lot of advice, but how do I know who's an expert and who's not? You know what I mean? What is legit and what isn't in that sense?
So true. That's with anything, right? Because we all go to Google. That's the first thing that we search, right? Is how to do something or learn about something. And if you're outside of your profession, I can say this for myself too, you see so much information, but you can't really tell. I think you're talking more about, like with rehab, strength and conditioning, those kind of things. Like, how can you tell? And I think for me, the first thing that I'll say is that followers and influence, that doesn't mean that they're the most credible, right?
Yeah,
and we all know that intellectually, but when you search, it's kind of hard to see like, okay, this guy only has a couple thousand and this guy has like 1 million, right? You just think that automatically the followers relate to credibility. Not saying that there's not truth in that, right? But not everything may pertain to everybody, even though they have a huge following.
How I look at recovery now is how I look at supplements. It's there's businesses and companies that can put money into that product and sell it, and you know what I mean. And I've seen that sometimes, and for some people it works. For most people, it's not quality though, and that's where I'm not trying to get caught up with the BS.
Yes. So the short answer to what you're saying. It's really hard to tell who's credible and who's not, right? But I think the quick answer is that have your network, have your guys that help you a lot, have the guys that know your body. Because I know like you, many of the athletes here, right? I have a history, I kind of know what your body is like, what you're moving like, what injuries you have, right? So when you send me some of these things, it's like, it's easier for me to say like, okay, this is good, do this, stay away from this, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so many, how you can kind of look at it is that there's infinite amount of variables that is going to make everything work well or be detrimental, right? So the more that you can understand the bigger picture of what you're going through, right? More than just a Google search, like you ask either me or you ask other people that you work with that work on your body, that train you, right? I think everyone can give you more direction as to like, okay, this is good information, this is credible, this is what you want to focus on, and this isn't. I think what becomes hard is for the average person, if they don't have any of those resources, right? The first step is to go find resources in person, because that they're going to be able to troubleshoot, give you more information than what you can do on your own with just Google. Yeah,
and everybody can go on YouTube and Google and search up a video. And there's a lot of influencers and professionals and so.
And if you think about it too, anyone watching out there, think about when you have no experience doing something. I don't know, anything. Home improvement, fixing your car, right? All of that. Just because you Google it, it might get you in the right direction. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do the thing, right, that's on the video. Because there's so many things that, how many times you watch one video on YouTube, and then it's after that, it's like, okay, I don't know how to do this. You watch another video, then you don't know how to even do this, and like a day later, right, you're down that rabbit hole that, okay, I got all this information, but I still don't know how to do whatever I need to do, right? And I think it's the same thing for injuries, right? ACL, whatever it is that you're going through, it's like, I need a lot more information than just a quick Google search. I know for me that has happened a lot, where it's like, I'm trying to learn and figure out something, but it's just not quite working as well as if I go ask someone in person. Can you think of any time that happened to you with whatever it is? Looking things online, Googling?
Yeah, man, I mean, like, for instance, if I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I can look up a jiu-jitsu move on YouTube, and, it's very knowledgeable, but applying that at practice is totally different. You know what I mean? And then you go to a different coach and there's different teachers that'll teach you in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, there's, like I said, there's knowledgeable people, but then you think you're out of school and you're a white belt and you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest teacher in the world.
Yeah.
And then you go to another gym and you're like, wait, that teacher's shitting on my teacher. You know, like,
exactly.
You're like, wow, I thought that dude was the guru. No, this one really is. Like, so who's who and what is what? Like,
you know, what's so funny? Like, these are some of the conversations. This is not planned. This is all organic. But these are more of the conversations that we have when you're training.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to you before. I noticed this, and this is my perception. An average person cannot tell who's more credible, who has more experience, just by looking at them.
Yeah.
What really, I think, sets people apart is you put all the professionals in one room together and let them have a discussion. If you were watching that as an audience, you would be like, okay, I can definitely see where everyone stands with experience,
right.
application, and all that.
Right.
It's the same thing like if you watch, well, maybe not so much MMA because it's two people, but if you watch like a football game, right, and you put everyone in there playing against each other, you can compare everyone's levels, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of naturally just see that, okay, this guy is better at this guy's not so good at this, right? Two fighters too, you can kind of see, you know, like not as many people on the field or in the octagon at the same time, but whatever it is, if it's a athletic trainer, physical therapist, strength coach, whatever profession, doctors even, put all of them in the same room. Obviously, this is not feasible all the time, but if you have a discussion among peers and professionals, I think it's so much easier to see, like, so that's why like some online content, podcasts, or when you're listening to professionals talk to professionals, I think that is a good way to kind of see how credible someone is.
Yeah, because you definitely gonna listen to two fans of a football game talking, two coaches of a football team talking. It's gonna be two different dialects.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? So and those are things I'm always, you know, looking at and looking forward to.
Yeah.
I keep it open-minded, but the biggest thing for me is like when I look for coaches, I think now that giving you that question, all the people I surround myself with, they all know how to explain their belief and passion to a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you know your shit,
Yeah.
you can explain that to a kid and they get it. I feel like you know your shit because you know what I mean, right? So all the people I have, like you have a great program with HNL, and there's a lot of kids. Every time I'm here, you're working with kids, tactical strength and conditioning, Gracie techniques,
Yes.
you know, Westside striking, legacy Muay Thai. There's a lot of kids that are working there, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, like for me, that's more credible to, you know what I'm saying, see all this coming, because like, because if you can really explain something to a kid who's so free-minded and just wants to just live life and be in the moment, and he understand you, like, I'm like, oh, that intrigues me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the biggest kid you know.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? For me to hold that attention to you the whole time, bro, like, to me that's like I think very credible. You know what I mean? That's something like authentic that people can look at for whatever, trainers, athletic trainers, coaches. So
Yeah, so everyone out there, I mean, life is complicated already. Don't overcomplicate things. Simplify things. Even if you're, you know, very advanced, sometimes taking the most simple instruction and concept and just applying that's super effective. Yeah. Obviously, we could go on and on and on and talk about this more.
That's the branch and rabbit holes we can jump into. And
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
But that's one question that Yancy had for today. So we'll do more of these videos in the future, but stay tuned for more.
I got a lot, bro. This probably got hella questions.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys find some value. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, check Yancy out on his Instagram and social media, and we'll see you next time.
Keep us accountable. Let us know what we should do and what we shouldn't.
Aloha.